What happened here at ViVE 2026 from a marketing perspective? Were there any notable trends? Was it better than 2024 when it was last held here in Los Angeles in the same venue? What do marketers need to know from this year's event? And of course, the big question, was ViVE 2026 worth it? Well, I've got some thoughts on all of those questions. Let's get to it.
Swaay help.
The 2026 edition of the annual ViVE event was held here in Los Angeles Convention Center, which is right next to Crypto.com Arena, where the LA Lakers play. The event was last held here in 2024, and I tip my hat to the organizers for listening to the feedback from attendees. You see, back in 2024, there was a bit of a problem with the food. You had to walk about a mile to get from the exhibit hall to where the food was. And in the food area, they had nothing but food trucks, which sounds great in theory, but was kind of a disaster because you ended up waiting 45 minutes for your order, and many of the trucks ran out of food before lunch was even half over. Well, this year, I'm happy to report that it was much better. They had buffet-style food stations right in the main lobby outside the exhibit hall. And there were a small number of food trucks outside the front door if you wanted something a little nicer. The buffet lines were quick, there were a lot of healthy food options, and it was actually pretty tasty. Much better than your typical convention center fare. Again, I give kudos to the organizers for fixing that from the 2024 event. I do have one suggestion for the ViVE team, just a small suggestion. Maybe have the food in the exhibit hall. I know it's not as nice as being in this great atrium, but I think it would really help drive a bit more traffic to the hall, which is sometimes a little light. The industry night here was much more subdued here at ViVE 2026. It was a good event, was well attended, but it was not the raucous concert with a well-known artist that we've seen in previous years. Personally, I think those big concert-style events should be retired right now. Given the uncertainty in the economy, the belt-tightening that is happening everywhere in healthcare, I think it would have been a terrible look to have photos on social media of healthcare executives partying at a free concert. At this year's event, I liked it because you could actually talk to the person next to you. But I'm sure there are some people who are a little disappointed we didn't have a big blowout concert. But I think this style of event was the more appropriate option. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room. I want to answer the question that many of you have. Was ViVE 2026 worth it? Well, if you polled the attendees and the exhibitors, I think you would get a mix of answers. For anyone who participated in the hosted buyer meetings for the first or second time, anyone who participated in the payer provider or the investor meetings, I believe they would say that ViVE 2026 was fantastic. Anyone who came here to meet new partners or to get introductions to potential collaborators, I think likely came away very happy. However, vendors looking to connect with provider CEOs in the exhibit hall probably went home disappointed. I guess what I'm trying to say is that ViVE is really not a top of funnel conference. If you come here expecting a lot of badge scans, then this conference is not for you. If you came here expecting to impress healthcare CIOs, this conference is not for you. If, however, you came here wanting to connect with different parts of the healthcare ecosystem, like partners, policymakers, distributors, as well as influencers and media, then this conference definitely is for you. But there is a hidden gem here at ViVE, something that few organizations take advantage of, and it can really make ViVE valuable for your organization. And that's the presence of media here at the event. The Media Village, just over there, was super busy, even more than last year. There were a ton of podcasters here, and I'll just give you a couple examples. Saul Marquez, Jared Johnson, Joy Rios, Sabrina Runbeck, and Nathan C. Bowser. There were also a number of media outlets here like Fierce, Health System CIO, Mid-City News, Modern Healthcare, and of course, Healthcare IT Today. Now, I mention this not to flex or pat ourselves on the back. I'm bringing this up because companies and PR agencies really need to wake up to this hidden secret at ViVE. It's hard to stand out these days. Blasting your message out on social media just doesn't do it anymore. In fact, I would say that it's really never done it. You need to be seen and heard on credible third-party media now more than ever because of all the AI slop that's out there. ViVE has a service where exhibitors and sponsors can send them announcements, like your press releases, and they compile all those press releases and announcements for everyone in the press. It makes it a lot easier to find potential stories and interesting news to cover, whether you're a podcaster, a news person, or just an influencer. ViVE is a great place to connect one-on-one, person-to-person with media and forge relationships with reporters and editors and influencers and podcasters. The ViVE organizers give a lot of space for those people to operate in, and because of that, we're actually pretty easy to find. So invest the time, come on over to the Media Village to get to know everyone. Build a relationship so that down the road, when you have something significant to share, your chances of getting covered will be higher. I'm always surprised that more companies don't take advantage of this here at ViVE. So if you're watching this, make media part of your goal for future ViVEs, and you're more likely to come away feeling great about your participation here at the event. Now, while we're on the topic of media, I just want to give a shout out to the organizers. Thank you for not placing the Media Village in the front lobby where we had the constant blare of the DJ going. This year we were in a quiet area, which means you didn't get a lot of music in the recordings that we were all making. So that makes a big difference. The Media Village this year was close enough to the exhibit hall too, and really had a nice view when you walked out of it. So thank you, and thank you for the coffee and the snacks that were replenished regularly. Shout out to Robbie and the Solcoms team for doing a great job running the Media Village. Now let's talk about my favorite part of any conference, the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall here at ViVE 2026 was once again the central hub of activity. As usual, there were tons of big LED screens, funky art displays, and branded presentation stages. They also had the puppy park, my favorite, the portrait photo station, the massage station, and lots of nice sitting areas. But wisely, all of those areas were actually smaller than in previous years. Gone was the Zen Dome and the large central sitting area. The aisles were also a bit narrower too. And because of that, the exhibit hall felt smaller than in previous years, but I actually believe we actually had the same number of exhibitors, just in less space. The presentations in the exhibit hall were all very well attended, like this one, featuring Dr. Rasu Shrestha and others. It was standing room only for a lot of the presentations in the exhibit hall. There is one booth trend that I wanted to highlight to you, our audience, and that's this rectangular arch feature. There were many booths with this feature, including LK, MetaQuant had it, Mayo Clinic Platform, Suki, PwC, Notable, Heidi Health, Hyro, Decagon, and Artisite. I'm a big fan of this design. I think it helps keep your space open, but it still bounds it, and plus there's a lot of surface area for branding. We'll see if that trend continues at other conferences. So there you have it. These are the marketing signals I picked up on while here at ViVE 2026. I want to give a final shout out to the ViVE organizers for a great event. They took the best of past years and brought them back, and at the same time they improved on the areas that need improvement. That's not an easy thing to do, and they deserve a lot of credit. I feel for them because, again, once again, Mother Nature didn't cooperate with them regarding travel. Hopefully next year will be much smoother and we won't have any snowstorms. If you were here, let me know what you saw and observed down in the comments. And if you made it this far in the video, we would really appreciate it if you could mash that like button and click subscribe. Also, head over to Swaay Health, that's Swaay with 2 A's, .health, where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.